Hello, everyone! John and Kevin are here!
Hello, hello.
Yep, it's working. Cool. I won't leave the unmute on so that people hear the Steve Reich effect.
Steve, that's-
An epic Steve Reich loop.
I was gonna say, yeah, you'll hear lots of echoing, repetitive craziness, weird rhythms.
You got to come up with some sort of catchphrase that just repeats over and over and over again. If you're in the chat, please say hello. Kevin and I would love to say hello and chat with you.
Yeah, say hey.
Kevin, in a minute, I'll let you introduce yourself
Sure.
and talk about your newest adventure.
Oh, fun, fun.
We have 5 people here with us. Say hello. I promise Kevin only bites on Tuesdays. Oh, this is awkward.
John, it is Tuesday.
This is awkward. I always say that with my students. like you can sit next to them. They don't bite. They only bite on whatever today is. And they go, but that's what today is. Oh, it is. That's weird. Didn't know that.
We got Sousa Master in here. Hey.
Hi, Doug. And Kevin's also in the chat. Hi, Kevin. That's weird. You're in the chat and on the stream. That's bizarre.
It's craziness.
For those of you who said Kevin couldn't be at the same place at the same time, or two places at the same place at the same time, you guys truly misjudged him.
Defying the laws of what, physics? I don't know if it's physics. I don't know. I teach band.
Just defying the laws of life. Oh, man. So we got Doug in the chat. We got Kevin in the chat. Because Kevin is here twice with us tonight. Oh, man. It was such a beautiful day today, Kevin. It was a beautiful
Yeah,
day.
it blew my mind. I was anticipating rain to just be an absolute nightmare because they, talked about storms coming in and just, raining for the next 2 weeks. But I saw that we got a break for today and actually tomorrow. I don't think it's supposed to rain until like maybe later in the evening. I'm excited to maybe step outside for a little bit again, go on a nice walk.
Ooh. I everyone can judge me. I've been when I go for my walks, I put on a playlist of Sousa marches, and I always try to keep step. So that way,
What a nerd.
yeah, total nerd.
Sousa marches, what Sousa marches popped up?
Let's see what we had today. Um, I know El Capitan came on. That's one of my favorites.
That is
Uh,
a great one. That's one of my favorites too. That's a solid march. It's fun.
Saber and Spurs came on. That's a good one. The Freelance. Oh, and then John Bubbett. I don't know if he's in the chat yet, but John Bubbett's got me hooked on the glory of the Yankee Navy. That's a good one.
On.
It's got some fun offbeat bass drum hits. That's a fun one. And then what else came on today? The White Plume is a good one. Hail to the Spirit of Liberty, and then the one actually that we're doing on Wednesdays when we are one of my favorite albums.
Favorite album. I just read that. That's funny.
That is totally Doug. Um, one of my one other thing that came on today was the Volunteers, which is what we are entering in our How to Sibelius lessons on Wednesday.
I have not been able to tune into the last couple Sibelius ones. How have those been going, John?
Good, they're going good. Valerie Laney Rowe has been joining me. I've decided that what we'll do is, unless anyone has specific questions, is I will actually be putting in the Volunteers by John Philip Sousa, and that's been a lot of fun because there's a lot of believe it or not, I can't play the march for you, but there's a lot of interesting choices that Sousa made with that one. He uses a fire engine siren at one point, and so doing all the different type of engraving things that you can do in that, um, I've been kind of experimenting. It's been fun.
That's neat.
But and Saturday we have a new series starting on Saturday. Composer Kevin Day and myself every Saturday we're going to be composing a grade 1.5 together.
That's cool. Kevin was on a couple weeks ago with you on this one too, right?
Yep. In fact, we got to chatting afterwards. Because we were on for about 2 hours for that stream, which was one of the longest streams I've ever done. And
Sure.
I was talking to him afterwards, and I was like, Kevin, this was a lot of fun. We should do our own series. He's like, okay. So we're starting this grade 1.5. We're also going to write that one in Dorico. I'm really excited about that.
So is that just to just show what the program can do, or are you just doing that for like a fun project working with Dorico, or what's the drive for Dorico?
I each program has their quirks. I don't sincerely dislike any of them.
Sure.
But I just Dorico's kind of the new kid on the block, and I feel like it needs the most exposure right now to sort of get its and hopefully more people will start using it, and hopefully it'll get kind of a bigger user base,
Right.
because it is, to me, it's a really nice program, and I know it's kind of hard when you're like the new kid on the block, especially a notation program, because like right now everyone is like they swear by whatever they use. So I think if
Right.
people just see it. Oh,
Might get
Doug just sent us a Pandora playlist. I'll let everyone see there. But yeah, it's I thought it would be fun. Now I am gonna do, I think on Friday. There's no live stream scheduled, but I may toss on the old live stream and do like a last minute announcement and set up the score. I asked Kevin if he wanted to be a part of that, and he's like, "No, man, I'm good." So uh, I'm gonna do that. I was thinking about just making it a video, but I think it'd be more work and to have it done for Saturday. So I'm just gonna live stream setting up the score,
Sure.
and that'll be a Saturday project. All right, Kevin. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your new adventure you're on.
Sure. So I'm Kevin Neese, and I am the assistant director of bands at Nordonia Schools. It's in between like Akron and Cleveland area. It's actually where John Pasternak went to school as well. So go Knights.
Go Knights.
I did my undergrad at Ohio University down in Athens, Ohio, and this is my fourth year of teaching. My first job was actually down in Vinton County, which is near Athens. It's about 30 minutes out there, down in southern Ohio. And now I'm here composing with John. And I actually just started a podcast called Music Ed All In. If you're interested, it's on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts. It's pretty much on all of your mainstreams that you would want. It's also casted onto YouTube. So if you're more of a visual person, you can check it out there. And John is actually featured on episode 3. So if you want to check that out, be sure to check it out and listen in.
I was gonna say episode 3 was probably the best, Kevin, in my opinion.
Yeah, John, to make you, if you want a plug, man, you're actually the second out of all the episodes. You're the second highest one. Yep. That deserves a clap.
That's for
Hi,
me.
Valerie. Thanks for joining.
Hi, Valerie. I was talking about our thing tomorrow, Valerie. How we're entering the volunteers. I'll give Valerie a minute to respond to that. Well, Kevin, I'm excited you're here. We've often chatted about this for a while, so here we finally are. We've made it.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's give this a listen, and let's listen to it from the top. Last week we had Tyler Arcari on Thursday, and Tyler and I did some editing throughout the piece. So those of you who are wondering what it's like to get your music commercially published, that's Tyler's full-time gig. If you watch that episode, he basically, while we didn't ever say it, it basically was kind of sort of like going through edits like a publisher would do. So it's those of you wondering what that process is like, watch that episode. It was the episode right before this with Tyler. I don't know what episode this is. 18. So episode 17 would be that one. Yeah, we went through and we cleaned up this this transition. We went through and cleaned up this this B section here. Sorry, the A section of the faster part, and then we worked on this transition. So let's give it a listen. And our goal today is to start working on sort of the slower theme here. So here we go from the top.
Yeah.
All right, we made it. I just realized that this isn't turned off as it should. There's one other thing I heard that we need to fix before we move forward. Go ahead, Kevin. You were going to say something.
Oh yeah, I love what's setting up for that grave section. Very spooky, very dark. I like that.
Kevin, we still have your 4/16 notes. Peter and I determined those are the Kevin notes.
I like the Kevin notes. Those are good.
Whenever they show up, were you still watching when we decided that?
Yeah, I don't think I was watching for the Kevin notes itself, but I just remember the suggestion. I was like, there's got to be something on this beat 4 that just kind of pushes you into the next part.
You'll have to watch that, because Peter and I were thoroughly enjoying that. We're like, man, whenever we do this at a contest, we'll just go, those are no longer called 4/16 notes. Those are called Kevin notes.
Kevin notes.
Those are no longer 16th notes. They are officially, from this day forward, Kevin notes.
I don't know if you can get that patent pending, but, I support that.
Let's see. We have a few things. I added accents to this trill. I hope that it'll make it a little bit more forceful, but it made some of the trills engraving go askew. All right, looks good. All right, let's listen to this real quick. I made one or two small revisions just to make sure I didn't break anything.
Sure.
All right, cool. So that is right where we will pick up today. So as we determined, this is not necessarily this is like an introduction or transition to the material, not necessarily the theme that we will be using in the grave section here. So this will start the grave section. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, 8 measures. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So, what are we thinking? Do we? I know when we were originally. So I know, I said like 7 thoughts almost come out of my mouth at the same time. So, So let's go back to the very beginning, and we'll kind of go in chronological order. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't go that fast with the scrolling, or else I'm gonna make someone get dizzy. At the beginning, when we were first composing this, our plan was to take this material here and sort of use it in the middle. Now, we talked last week about taking maybe some ideas from it, like the triplet is sort of what we were, so like the da 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 da. We kind of have that da 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 da. So it's like that idea of the da 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 is there, but it's changed a little bit. So we were kind of discussing that last week. Do we want to continue with that idea? Do we want to completely change it? Do we want a new theme? What are we thinking?
Me personally, I do like the idea of, kind of highlighting some of those same moments from the beginning, because it's giving the listener something that they can identify with, but it's also new because it gives it that little bit of a twist, when you're keeping that same line through some of those parts. I like the idea of reusing and remodifying, some of the stuff that you did in the beginning.
Now, that's kind of what we have here at the introduction. And I know, again, it's just the introduction, isn't necessarily the final theme. But that's kind of what we were going with here. We put it into 3/4 time instead of writing, the triplets and everything. So we do sort of have that going on here.
Well, what are you thinking, John? What's going on in your head right now?
Make something gorgeous.
That's a cop-out answer, but I'll take it.
That's literally pretty much the only thing going through my mind.
Yeah. Valerie said she likes the idea of tying the beginning back in it as well.
So what if we modify the theme and develop it a little bit, but we take some of this chord progression? I'm going to copy and paste this. It's going to look ugly because this is in 4/4 time going into 3/4 time. But let's just kind of do it here for sort of a proof of concept, if you will. We're going to delete all these dynamics. We're going to delete all the ties. Oopsie, I don't know what I just did. Let's delete all the ties here. Okay, let's take this. Oopsie. John done a whoops. Let's take that.
Valerie asks, how are you deleting the ties? I think she's asking for the shortcut.
Oh, you just hit enter down here on the bottom. Like on your keypad down here. You just put the bottom the bottom right of your keyboard, the enter on your keypad.
And all you have to do is highlight and like
I shouldn't have done what I just
selected.
did. Yeah, on the number pad.
Wow.
So you just select it and it does it. Oh. I don't know how you do it on the non-number pad. If you go to preferences and you go to keyboard shortcuts, and if you go to where it says, I think it's keyboard language. You know, that's not it. This one, the second one. If you go to notebook laptop shortcuts, and then you go to, if you have to find it. So keypad, what is this? This is enter on keypad. So the keyboard shortcut is the /. So that's what it becomes. Enter on the keypad becomes /. But I need to go back to standard menus and shortcuts, or else I'm gonna.
You'll get some surprises.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hitting things and they're not gonna work. All right, so let's take this and sort of build on it. So, I think what we're going to do is we're not going to put it down here like this. We're going to make a clarinet choir here. We could be really different, and we could make this a saxophone choir.
I love the sound of just like that nice low warm clarinet sound though, especially for what you're doing here. I don't know if saxophone would be that dark kind of sound that you're going for.
No, it would be a little too bright. Uh-oh. Well, that's okay because we don't need E flat because it's in the bass clarinet, so that's fine. What dynamic do we have here? Piano. All right. Let's listen to, without a theme, let's just listen to see how this feels. All right, I'm with it. Now, what instrument do we give the melody to? Do we give that to the saxophone? I don't want to give it back to the horn because the horn we already gave a solo to. We could give it to the euphonium.
I love euphonium. I really like that, just that color of sound. I think that's a good choice. Saxophone would be cool.
We could give it to
you could even
the
take
bassoon.
it to flute. Bassoon solo for days.
What is that old thing says? Please silence your cell phone. If your cell phone goes off during the concert, you will be forced to go on stage and play the bassoon.
Bassoon.
like
Valerie.
Why the bassoon, man? What did the bassoon do to you?
Valerie actually recommended oboe. I kind of like that idea.
Oh, let's see what happens.
It's different.
We're gonna take just this part of the theme. We're going to take that up an octave. Let's listen to this and see how we feel about it. And it doesn't need to say 1 in front of it because there is only one oboe. All right, here we go. Let's see how we feel about this. Oof. 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 Oof.
That sounded like a whoops.
That was a. I think it's a bonus whoops. Whoops. I don't know about this. Let's listen to this and see how we feel about it.
Yeah, that last bar is like jarring. So, John, when you're looking at something lyrical like this, are you a person that you like to kind of just plug and chug and experiment, or do you have like a particular line that's in your head? Like, what's the process right now?
It depends if I've heard something before we go into it. In this case, I haven't heard anything, so the kind of experimenting thing is what we're off to now. If I hear something, then we're good, and I just basically write down what I hear. In this case, I'm not quite hearing anything yet, and sometimes the road to hearing something is experimenting. Like you'll write something, it'll have a whole bunch of bad ideas, but like one thing I'll go, oh, that'll work if I just change that one thing, and then it sort of gives you the idea from itself.
Sure. John Bubbett just joined us. Hey, John.
John Bubbett. He and Valerie are both Excelsior composers with myself.
I started listening to the Excelsior catalog pieces that just recently were.
So allow me to word this way, Kevin. Which ones aren't you buying?
Well, I might be going broke, guys, because they're all so good. I really enjoyed it. There was just lots of good lit that's coming out from Excelsior. It's exciting.
Yeah, Tyler picked some good ones this time around. I'm proud of my 5 coming out. I have my 4 band and my 1 string piece.
Yay, that's exciting. And I know Valerie had stuff on there as well. And
yep. So does John.
It's awesome. So does John. It's awesome. Congrats, guys. That's huge.
And by the way, I don't care what John says. John is a good name.
It's not overused or anything.
No.
So what are you doing right now, John?
Sort of experimenting with different ideas. I hear kind of, sort of. I don't hear anything definite at this point. But at the same time, I've already changed it so it doesn't really reflect what's at the introduction, other than the harmonies underneath it.
Yeah, and the harmonies that happen a little bit later. I have to pull out the score. Let's see. Like the harmonies that you have going on at 10 and it just sounds it has a little bit more direction. Those first 4 bars, it's definitely hard to write from, but I love how they sound. Valerie had said, what if measure 87 was quarter note C, 2/8 notes C then G, and then 2/8 AC to AD?
I will try that in 30 seconds, Valerie. Give me...
I feel like composer to composer. That makes so much sense. It took me a second to read through
I
that. I was like, okay.
I haven't even looked at it yet. I was so busy trying to focus on my current thought. I couldn't focus on that. I kind of like this. Let's see what Valerie says. Oh no, that's fake. That's not how you really spell John. John. That's not real. That's not real. That's not real news. What if measure 87 2/8 C's then G? Now, I kind of want it to move, Valerie. I don't want. I don't. No, I don't. I want it to move here. Let's try this. This might be. Although I just did a bad, and I did the thing where I left the transposing thing on and then started not transposing in my head. All right, let's listen to this. All right, so I'm sold on this. I like this a lot. I am not sold on this. I really like the last half of this. So I think that what may be part of the solution is if we go like...
I was gonna say, John, where does grade 3 oboe like cap out in the upper range?
Give me 1 second to get that. Hang on, I'm gonna put that up so I can look up in my file manager here and not. We will be right back with this. I mean, the stream is still here and we're still here, but the music thing will be back. I'm just looking in my file manager here for the range sheet.
Well, if you're just joining us, be sure to say hey in the chat and let us know you guys are here.
And don't forget, Kevin only bites on Tuesdays. Only on Tuesdays. And he said...
Tuesday's not a bad...
I was going to say, Kevin said he will not bite this Tuesday, though.
Nope. Bite free today.
Oopsie. I did a stupid... There we go. All right. Here we go. All right, I got to find the right grade level now. Okay, grade 3. So we get to go up to B flat on the oboe, and the lowest note is an F.
Okay.
And I'll keep that minimized so we can reference
that.
it. Yeah. All right, let's listen to this real quick. I think that we may have a winner here. Ooh, I really like this. I'm a fan of this now.
Yeah, that's neat.
Now, what we can do... Somebody asked me, so every once in a while I do that tongue click when I think. I go... Someone asked me if I was giving myself, like, if I was, like, clapping for myself, like, good job, me. No.
Snaps for John. Snaps for John.
This is for me. I done good. No, it's I just sometimes when I think I go. That's just the way I think. All right, so I need to go get the chords from the beginning because the chords are what are staying the same in this section.
Right.
So I need to grab these, and let's grab this. Peter!
Hi, Peter.
Hang on, I'm going to say it right, Peter. I'm going to say it right. Pete Ciano. Yeah. Peter, we were just talking about how you asked me about when I do the tongue click if I was really clapping for myself. But now I am really clapping for myself because I said your name right. And I'm proud of myself. So I'm clapping for myself, Pete. Now, Pete, don't forget before you leave, you got to dab. That's required. If not, you're required to come back and try it again. It is a requirement. It's unexcused absence. I'll have to call home and let them know. Unexcused. Alright, turn those off. See, now Valerie, my little tie trick doesn't, you see, so now it's backfiring on me because it's putting the ties where there previously weren't ties.
Oh, okay.
So, not all the time does the tie trick... Yeah, see here it's doing it too. Not all the time does the tie trick work in your favor. Alright, so this has to go here. This has to go there. It may have to be an early dab tonight. Man, you know you're in quarantine when you start referring to your time in places by what time you dab. It's a quarter past my dab. That's you know you're in the quarantine life then. All right, I need to explode this, and then I need to merge these two together. Reduce. Oopsie. Now reduce.
I find it interesting. Rather than saying expand and reduce, they say explode and reduce. Talk about making music fun, you know?
We're pretty serious about our engraving here in Sibelius Land. We don't play around. This is not something in which we mess around with, to be entirely honest. It's pretty serious business.
I can see that.
I mean, we explode things. We reduce let's see.
So, John, how did you come up with this progression in the first place?
Well, Kevin, if you check out the first episode, no, I'm just kidding.
I'll get on that.
How did we come up with this? So we originally were trying to. I think first what we did is we decided, did we want major or minor? What kind of tone did we want to set? Are we happy? Are we sad? Are we angry? What were we going for? And then from there, we kind of like just experimented with different things. So we wanted to be like a space sounding thing. We just kind of experimented, and this is what we settled on.
Very cool.
I
say, can we listen to it?
Yes.
And see where our ears are going?
Sure. Here we go. Though I don't think.
Yeah, bar 90 going into 93 was definitely different.
All right, I think this is it. I think this is we may have something here. Let's listen to this.
So in the chat, John, we got some really cool ideas and some suggestions. Valerie had mentioned something in measure 90 that she hears some sort of note change on beat 2 in measure 90. And then John had also recommended possibly some moving eighth notes that might, I don't know, that might give it a little bit more movement, a little bit more momentum. And he suggested possibly 91.
Well, something we also got to keep in mind is this is a solo. I could agree with that, but this is a solo. We don't have like 5 oboes on this, or 2 oboes even. So we kind of got to give them this because they're gonna play this, they're gonna breathe, and then go into their solo. So while I could definitely get behind that, unfortunately I am gonna leave that a half note so that they can breathe and then pick up into the new phrase.
And Valerie specifically had mentioned like an inner voice change, so something maybe in clarinets, possibly while the oboe was taking a breath.
Let's try this. Let's try that. Yeah, I'm okay with that, but what we need to do then is definitely do something here. Let's listen to that. Yeah, I like that. Oops. I made a whoops. There.
And then I did like what John had commented earlier too. Creating some sort of like moving eighth note line might make that oboe voice cut up through a little bit even more. Just give it a little bit more gusto through that phrase.
Oopsie. Let's listen to this real quick. No. No. But if we're going to do that, then this needs to go like that. Let's try this. Oh, whoops. I made a whoops there. I don't think this is going to be the solution either. Nope.
John had said, maybe in the last half of the phrase. And not necessarily in those opening bars for that solo.
Time out now, I'm confused.
I think he had talked about incorporating eighth notes to give it momentum, and he just was saying, yeah, in that last half of the phrase, some sort of eighth notes to kind of propel it along. Because I know you had tried to use some eighth notes earlier on and weren't particularly happy with the sound you're getting.
I don't really feel eighth notes at any point in this melody. This to me, this melody is very. It's laboring along. It's very, to go with the tone of the piece, it's very miserable.
Sure. No, I think that's totally valid. Yeah, and then in those first couple of bars, the ba da dee da, I like staying on that E flat.
I don't I don't mind like the quarter notes in there to give it motion.
Sure.
No, I do kind of want that, and then I do kind of want to do this. I kind of liked it the way that we had it with this in there. Let's listen to this. I think this may be onto something. I think that this needs to change to that. Let's listen to that. No.
Joe Schmo, that's a nice title you got there. That's funny, Joe.
Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo, introduce yourself. Who are you? I feel like you've been here before. I feel like you told us who you were, nonetheless, and now I can't remember. And by the way, yeah, since Joe Schmo brought it up, I am taking suggestions for a title. That is an ongoing project.
What kind of to highlight what you did earlier. So you had the be da dee dum. It's a really nice line, and then going into 93, you so ba da dee da do da, going up to the A flat. I think could you let that kind of sustain a little bit, and then kind of carry it into 94.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Say that one more time. I was trying to fix something I saw was a mistake.
No, going into 93, maybe even sustaining on that A flat for like 2 beats. Valerie, thank you so much. I'm not a singer at all, but I greatly appreciate that.
Kevin lies. He is a professional singer. Kevin lies. Kevin actually said that he's gonna think about writing an opera and singing it himself.
If you want it to be the worst opera you've ever heard, yeah, hire me. Hire me.
I'm excited. I'll be at the premiere, Kevin. All right, let's give us a listen. I do really like this, but something is not going to work with this. We need to do this, and I need to figure out how we're going to make this work.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I figured out.
Like it, yeah.
I wonder if this is. Hang on, Kevin. We may be on to something.
Look at that, man.
We may be on to something.
And then when you get a second, John, Valerie recommended maybe have the clarinets do a half note on beats 1 and 2 in measure 92.
I do kind of like this, but not entirely. Sorry, I was paying attention to what I wrote there. What did you say? What?
No, you're good. Valerie had said maybe have the clarinets do a half note on beats 1 and 2 in measure 92.
Done. We can listen to that in a second. I want to try to figure out. I don't know if this is the solution to this. Let's listen to this. Oh. Oopsie. Grabbed the wrong thing there. I don't think this is it either, but let's listen to this. I don't know. I kind of like that. I don't like how it resolves, but I kind of like these two measures. I like 92 and 93. I don't necessarily like 94 anymore, but I do really like 92 and 93. Listen to that one more time. Ooh, that's kind of growing on me. All right, hang on. We gotta go back to 87 and listen to this.
Yeah, I think if you can get whatever the resolution is going to be, if we can get that a little bit more tamed, it'll be a little bit more subtle to my ears.
I have to be honest, that may be the resolution. It just sounds muddy because it's so low. I think that... Hang on, let's listen to that one more time now that I just changed the bass note. This may be it. Let's listen to this. Yes! Yes! Oh.
I know you're stoked, John, but Valerie does not like that resolution.
Nobody asked
But she said
you,
this one was
Valerie.
much better. She did say this one was much better.
Nobody asked you. I'm just kidding, Valerie.
Yeah, no,
I did.
it's
I
a
did ask you. I'm
it's
just
a
kidding.
fun, spooky sound.
Let's listen to it one more time. Ooh, okay, so does everybody like that? I really like that. Because to me, then the B section here of this slow part. So this will go into the B theme really nicely, which will be in a contrary major key, and then come back to this kind of dreary, miserable, sad part. By the way, so my chromatic orchestration has come a long way, and I know I've talked to Valerie about this. A lot of my earlier works, there was not very much chromaticism. Um, I sort of have my chromatic vocabulary has really grown because of my time I've spent studying Sousa marches. So you may think that it's silly and you're like, oh, it's Sousa or whatever, but he was the master of chromatic harmony. He really truly was. And studying how he used it and how he used it to get from point A to point B has really helped me a lot.
Yeah. I know in the chat, you have Valerie who asked if is there any way we could turn up the music volume a little bit? And John had heard, he hears movement in like the bass voice in 93. I think he wants to hear something there.
I don't know if we can, John. We can experiment, but this F sharp wants to go to the G. I don't know. Let's listen to it a little louder. The only problem with this is it's also going to turn up Kevin. So,
I'll back away.
Kevin, be quiet. All right. So let me know if things are okay here. All right, measure 87. Now, John, I can agree with you. I can hear a little bit of motion here in these inner voices. I can also hear this going one more measure, and then this going. Let's listen to this. Maybe not that, but this again. No.
Valerie, when you mean throw bass clarinet a bone, are you trying to get bass clarinet more involved? Are you wanting it to be more rhythmic? What are you thinking? Yeah, they just want to hear that motion in 93.
All right, we'll look at that in a second. Sorry, I realized I needed to cue this oboe solo. Now that it's figured out, I can cue it.
We have Enzo who joined us. Hi, Enzo.
Hello, Enzo. All right, let's try this. Oopsie. So sometimes if you hit play again, when you get to the very end, it goes all the way back to the beginning. See, I could get behind putting some bass clarinet motion here.
What if you stayed on that low E at the beginning of the 93? I don't know how boogered up the chord progression would get there. If you stayed on beats, on E on beats 1 and 2, and then really dug into that F sharp leading into the G. Would that might totally booger it. Or what note are we on there? I'm losing my mind.
That's F sharp. Here,
F sharp.
Let me send you a new PDF of this.
Sweet.
All right. I don't. Hang on. Let's try this bass clarinet thing here. I don't know if this is gonna. I'm not 100% attached to that. Let's. I don't. Oops. How to make So John, what do you recommend? I don't To me, I just like that. I think that this kind of leading tone to G.
Yeah, I do like the direction getting into the G. And I think like as a player, like musically, they're gonna do more with that measure to where it doesn't sound like this stagnant F sharp. You know what I mean?
See, John, then I can't if I do two A's and a G's, and I got to change this whole chord, including the melody. Because we have F sharp again, so you'd have that against B flat. You have these two A's. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking in 93, John. So two A's, G. Okay, I can get behind that. Here, let's listen to this. I'm behind that. That sounds good. Yeah, I can get behind that. Or what
Yeah,
if we
that's
do?
good.
No, I don't want to do that. What if we do this? Hang on. How do we feel about that? I kind of like that, going up to the D. I kind of like that. 93, a half, then a quarter. What would you put on each thing, John? In 93.
Yeah, you got that contrary motion going on. Can you play that one more time, John?
Wait, so you don't even want this note to change, John? You want it to stay on the same F sharp. You just want the rhythm to change. Okay, we can do that. I can definitely get behind that. I just didn't know how you would change pitches here from the F sharp. I don't know what other notes you would use to get into this, because it's the leading tone into G. All right, here we go. Let's listen to it. I like that. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. Let's do it one more time. Actually, let's listen to the whole section here. Here, John, in your honor, we'll even do that. Because I agree with you that can use a little bit more notes. How do we feel about that? The John,
Yeah, I think
I was joking with Kevin, John, before you got here to remind him. This is the Kevin rhythm. So
gotta love the Kevin notes.
This is now the John Bobbitt rhythm. All right, let's listen.
Yeah, no, I really like that, John.
Let's listen to this whole section, this whole grave section. Hang on, I'm half tempted to take away this nice thing that we just did here in the bass clarinet that it's made such a fuss about. What note do we have to get? We have to get back to D. right, hang on. I think this may be because we have to get back to this because I do want to kind of redo this theme one more time through here. Let's see if this is the solution. I kind of like that. Except
Yeah, it's a totally different sound, but it's appealing.
Let's listen to this. I think this may be a little. No, that has to stay.
Yeah, agreed.
Although we will put the John rhythm in there. We will put the John rhythm. Good night, John. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, John.
So I kind of feel like this should go.
That's a cool sound, though. What do people in the chat think? Do they like this version better than the original?
So Kevin, you asked this toward the beginning. So does everything happen organically, or does sometimes you just gotta experiment? Well, this whole part came as an experiment. This was not something I heard beforehand. This was not, So sometimes you just gotta experiment, and then that'll kind of spur sort of a chain of events of ideas.
Yeah, that's the color changes. It almost turns into a different mood for a brief moment, and you're going to be able to take it back around into what you started. It's neat.
So then the idea here is, again, we will not do this literally like this. We will change it.
No,
in some
but
shape or
still,
form. But just so you can hear what the idea is. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that and that. So here, this is the idea. Actually. So we will delete this bass clarinet part because obviously that's not gonna. It's gonna have to change. It's not gonna be able to be because here the bass clarinet part forebodes back to the fact that we're going back to where we were. Here we want it to kind of foreshadow where we're going, not going back to this dreary, sad thing. We want it to kind of foreshadow, kind of like a ray of sunlight in the clouds.
Yeah, I like that. The one bar that sounds, I like the overall idea that it's going down is that descending line in bass clarinet. I think it's 94, or Sorry, my screen's really small. But I think it's 94. It's that descending bass clarinet line. It's the second note of that. I don't know why that note sticks out to me in a weird way.
Well, I'll tell you.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one.
No, I'll tell you exactly why. It's B flat against C.
Well, yeah, that.
So here we can
I
quickly
don't
change
know.
that, and we just made it B flat, so it's B flat against B flat. Let's give it a listen here at 87 real quick. It should sound much cleaner now. See, it doesn't collide there now.
Yeah, that's definitely better.
Now here, this time around here, and this is just this won't be necessarily what we do now, but what we would do is we need to, one, fill it in, and then two, there needs to be more motion this time around. I feel like it's okay to be here stagnant at 87 and sort of miserable sounding. 96, it really needs to gain some momentum because it needs to. We're trying to foreshadow happiness for a minute here, whatever measure is the last measure. So it needs to definitely. I'm trying to demonstrate it with my mouse, but it'd be easier to with your hands, like you're pushing it along. It needs to move.
Yeah.
It needs to move, and it needs to, maybe go
Coursing it.
a little faster. So here, like maybe here we would put in it's Piamoso means faster, right? Is it? Yeah, Piamoso means faster, right?
Yeah,
I always get Piamoso and Minimoso backwards. Yeah, let's look it up.
Yeah, a little more motion going through
Yeah,
that I
more
think will
quickly.
help a little faster.
Piamoso is the right one. But quarter equals 80. And then here we can put a Paco Excel. Paco Accelerando is the correct thing. Now we need to hide that. And I need to go get my, there we go, my text marking. Excelsior Music Publishing is here. It's Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Tyler forgot to change his channel. I'm gonna have to fix that. That's a whoopsie. If you could see that, the Ty is getting eaten alive by that dot. You would probably not see that if you were reading it really quickly. I'm gonna have to fix that later. I don't know what's going on with that.
The perks of technology.
Oof, that is a nasty problem. Oof, look, it's getting eaten alive. Nom 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 nom. Okay, sorry. We've reached that point of the night. John is tired.
I was gonna say John is
the ties are eating the dots in my music.
We broke John, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
tired. All right, let's listen to this. I know Tyler wants to hear that. Here, Tyler, we'll go back from the grave so you can work your way into it. This is what we've done so far. Here, I'll make it bigger so you can see it. Tyler, this part here was just sort of a placeholder. This wasn't necessarily. I mean, it's going to be this idea, but we were just putting it here to see how the transition worked. It necessarily isn't going to be the same identical thing, copy and pasted. I am going to put that there to remind me that that is where we are going. Put a couple more measures in. There we go. Actually, here we'll do this and that, and we need to grab that, and maybe some of the measures over here because they look squished. Speaking of things being eaten alive, those measures look like they're being eaten alive. I really gotta. The second I get off the stream tonight, I've got to fix that.
I wonder why that would be.
It's a tie spacing rule. It's supposed to be this far away from the note. I don't understand. Maybe it's because in 4/4 time I don't write a lot of dotted half notes,
Sure.
so I don't ever really notice it. But it's just so you can see engraving rules, ties, the tie rules. So it may just be a matter of doing this. Yeah, see, that made it a little better, but it needs to go up a little bit.
Sure. They're finding what emojis are also available on YouTube chat, and apparently there's a bottle of hand sanitizer.
There you go. You never know when you're going to need it. There we go. That's fixed. That looks so much better.
Hey, that looks like music.
Although I don't think I would put it that high up. That's a little... it's a little high up. There we go. Yeah, may need to go a little higher. There we go. That looks much cleaner. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, Tyler has a wrench next to his name because he is a an admin.
Fun.
All right. Let's look at 87 one more time, and I think we're going to call it a night.
That sounds good.
See, I think that if we get the so here, okay, hang on, I lied. If we do this, and then we do this.
Kyle Green popped in the chat. Hey, Kyle.
Kyle! We lost Kevin. We're going to hear a Skype ringing here in a minute because I don't know where Kevin went. So you guys may win some Skype noises in a minute. Hi, Kyle. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Kevin.
Sorry, I got lost there for a second.
Wait, I was telling I braced everyone. I said, "Hey, you're all gonna hear the Skype sounds in a minute." All All right, we're gonna do this. We are going to make it so that we can hear that time around. They are no longer going to be cues, which means I need to label that they need to play. All right, here we go. Yeah, I really like that dark saxophone sound. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's got a great tone to it.
We'll get rid of that. And we can get rid of that because that's doubled. Yeah, let's listen to that one more time. It's because I'm proud of it.
There you go. Snaps for John. Snaps for John.
Yeah, except this time, so the bass clarinet needs to keep going up.
Yeah, I think it needs to take you to a new place.
So here, this needs to not do. And I'm well aware that I just did that, and this all needs to change. Whoops. Let's listen to this. Yeah! Yeah! I did a thing!
I like that. That was very, very... Yeah, that's cool.
I think the most
I like that
important
sound.
part of today's composition stream is we prevented ties from eating dotted notes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been one of those days.
Yeah. Well, you've been going at it for an hour and a half strong, John. So.
Oh, man. Okay, Kevin, we need to... Okay, let's listen to this from the beginning now that we have this in place.
Yeah, I like it.
Hang on, I need to fix this. I'm interested to hear Tyler's thoughts on this new slow section, because he was sort of the co-creator of it.
Yeah, he had some really good insight on how to incorporate material from the beginning.
I'm interested to hear if he thinks we took his idea, gave his idea justice or not. Oh, that's how you know I'm in trouble.
Words of encouragement.
I'm just kidding. You know, he's gonna give me some really good advice. I'm serious. Tyler always gives me really good advice. It's just probably a lot easier to say over the phone than it is via YouTube chat. But that doesn't mean I didn't want to tease him. Oh man, I'm just waiting to put him in the chat. John, go to your room. All right, let's listen from the beginning, and then we'll call it a night.
If I say it over the phone, everyone here might think I'm still nice. throwing some shade at you, John.
Tyler's always there for me.
It's funny. Shout out to Tyler. Tyler, you had referenced a piece last week. It's that Haunting Old Mountain melody, I think is what it's called. And it was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and I bookmarked it because I want to play that.
chimes. I'm gonna not do that today, but I'm gonna make a note that we need to put some chimes in there. Alright, I'm going to put a note here. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just put a note that I need to add chimes. Hang on, I got to remember which part has the chimes. It is Mallets 2 has the chimes. So we're going to highlight this part right here. Review, new comments, add chimes. Except I'm going to spell it right and not create my own spelling of the word chimes. All right. Well, that does it for tonight. Oh, Kyle, horn rips maybe at the end. We gotta do that at the end. We gotta do that. Oh, now hang on. Kevin, you were talking about a piece by Tyler. We couldn't really hear it because of the music.
Sorry, my audio, it totally, like, the video was playing on the screen and I could see the green line, but the audio capped out. So I was like, oh, maybe John stopped. And I was like, maybe he's taking a break. but no, I had was referencing, Tyler had mentioned that piece that what was it? I have it bookmarked here because I was so blown away by it. The Haunting Old Mountain Melody.
Yeah, by
There's
Ed
some-
Kiefer.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. That was absolutely fantastic, and I hadn't gotten a chance to listen to that until I dove in over the last couple weeks. It was very, very good.
By the way, Tyler, here on this very stream, Kevin, he said, and I quote, "We have a record." He doesn't know which one of the pieces from the Excelsior catalog he isn't going to buy. So, you know, I think it's going to be good.
It's very, very good.
He's going to buy one of everything.
Yeah, it was. I have very, very much enjoyed going through and listening.
Well, Kevin, I am thankful that you joined me one more time. Why don't you plug your podcast one more time?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me, John. This is great. If you guys are bored and want to listen to some podcasts, check out Music Ed All In, talking about lots of cool music ed concepts and, you know, just talking shop. If you want to tune in, it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and pretty much any of your major podcast listening streams that you can think of. It's also on YouTube if you're more of a visual person, so you guys can check it out. It's Music Ed All In.
And just so you all know, the third episode was the best, if I say so myself.
Featuring yours truly, John Pasternak.
Couple of announcements before I forget. I haven't been plugging. If you've been helping out with the piece, down in the description you will see a link to a Google form. If you would like credit in the score cover that you were a part of the live streams, please fill that out. And, you know, just so I have your permission. If you do not fill that out, I cannot guarantee your name goes on the score cover. But to be honest with you, I'm not guaranteeing any names are going on the score cover. That's a conversation for a later date. But if they should go on a score cover, that's the only way that I make sure that it happens. So if you would like that, do it. Programming announcements. Tomorrow, Valerie and I will be doing our How to Sibelius lesson. We will be continuing with the entering the march, the volunteers. Thursday, Lori will really be here unless you may have another surprise Tyler again. No, Lori will be here. I think she hasn't said she won't be able to. So, it'll be Lori and I on Thursday. Next week, the schedule is going to be a little different. Make sure you check Twitter and Facebook for the schedule. There will not be anything on Tuesday. There will still be. Oh, before we get to next week, I almost forgot. Saturday, a new series is starting. Kevin Day and myself are composing a grade 1.5. Surprise, Tyler is an acceptable surprise. Saturday is our new live stream. Kevin Day and I are going to be composing a grade 1.5 using Dorico. Next week, I think Monday, Valerie and I are going to do our Sibelius lesson on Monday the 25th. There will be nothing on Tuesday the 26th. I will be composing with Dr. Scott Watson on Wednesday the 27th at 8 o'clock. And then on Thursday the 28th, I will be composing with Lori once again. The following week, I'm not going to get into, but there is a special guest I'm super excited to compose with. I'm just going to keep it a secret as long as I can. But
Ooh, mysterious.
I am so stoked. So stoked. You guys don't even know. Like, I'm so
John
excited.
Willie?
It's gonna be Tyler again. But this time Tyler said that he's gonna wear a cool hat. Right,
Oh,
Tyler?
wow.
Or no, he said he's gonna wear the T-Rex suit, and that we can put a video of him in one of those inflatable T-Rex suits.
There you go.
Surprise,
There
Tyler.
you go.
All right, everyone, boys and girls, and as Tyler would say, cool cats and kittens. It has been real. I'm gonna go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You do that. Thanks for joining, everybody. This was a lot of fun.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow or Thursday. Have a good night.